I'm Ashley Gordon and I'm a gambling counsellor. I don't think people realise the effect gambling is having on our communities. I think people don't like to talk about it as they see it as someone else's problem. Gambling is affecting our communities in very real ways. Gambling is okay if it's done within our means and just for fun. But gambling is not okay when it is causing financial problems. It causes stress, affects relationships, when people lie about how much they gamble, or money isn't being spent on the kids, and important items such as food and bills. It's not okay when people are losing their connection to their family, their culture, their beliefs, their identity, and people aren't respecting their elders, or as elders we aren't passing down our real customs. We are meant to be about family. If gambling is first in our lives, then family is second.
I'm a Wiradjuri man, born and bred out at a little place called Nanama Reserve on the banks of Macquarie River. Mum had 8 kids. Mum reared us on her own, so times were tough. Growing up, I had low self-esteem. I had no confidence. I felt less than. I thought other people were better than me, and it was all fear. If you grow up with nothing, then I guess the easiest way of trying to get money or make a living was to either win lotto, you see the ads on TV, be a millionaire, never work again in your life, or trying to get money that you don't have access to. You don't know what it's like to have money. You don't know, you think it's the norm. That's the scary part, is that some of our mob think it's normal to be broke, and it's not normal.
I lost my mum and dad real young. No one was around to teach me anything. I left school when I was 15 and had a baby when I was 17. I was going through domestic violence too. I used to find gambling used to help me shut that out. It used to take me to another world, in my mind. And half the time I didn't realise how much I was paying. I hit rock bottom.
Our fringe camp was separated from the township by a cemetery, and on the other side by a sewage treatment works. So we lived in the poorest of places you would want to build a house on. When I was a teenager, I noticed that my dad, he used to listen to the radio on the morning of the race day, which was always a Saturday, and he'd get the tips off the radio. And I was thinking, wow, it was like normal. It wasn't like he was hiding it. And as I got older, walk past the TAB, we'd see people in there, including Dad, having a bet. After I finished university, I then we would go to the pubs, mostly drink beer, and you put some money in a poker machine. And then when you're going with colleagues, they'd say, come on Steve, grab a seat and put a couple of coins in, press a button.
I'm a Wiradjuri man from Dubbo. First time I ever seen gambling was, I'd say, my uncles and my old father sitting around gambling on a Saturday, listening to the wireless down the back, listening to horses. It was normal, every Saturday it was beer and bet day. At first I thought it was sociable and have a laugh and a giggle with the boys on a Saturday, and I wouldn't go home till after race 8 on Saturday afternoon. It was around 5, 6 o'clock. I always wanted to be one of the boys.
In New South Wales, poker machine causes our people the most problems. But TAB, including horses, sports betting, dogs, and even backyard bingo and cards, is also causing problems for our people, spending more than they can afford to lose. The poker machine is just a machine with a computer in it. It's programmed to win. It provides you with close wins, and with the music, the lights, it can be appealing. Some people think they can make the machine behave. It's not possible to affect gambling outcomes by wearing your lucky undies or lucky numbers or by singing to it. Gambling is unpredictable and you can't make them win for you.
You back a couple of winners, you're on top of the world, you're the big shot, you got money in your pocket, look at me. So it was a lot of ego associated with my gambling as well. I knew I had a problem. I used it to escape. In the early stages, I didn't want to do anything about it. That fantasy land where you don't have to deal with family, you don't have to deal with kids, you don't have to deal with work, and you don't have to deal with other people's garbage. 5, 6 years ago, we were planning to go overseas. we had money saved and we were going to go with friends, and I started to gamble, and I accessed our account and transferred money from our savings account, the money that we were supposed to use to go overseas, and I gambled it, and it wasn't a very nice feeling. That's what happens to me when I gamble. What little bit of self-esteem you've got, that it takes it away. It really, it's not a good feeling. Insanity is going out, doing the same old thing and expecting a different result. And I can see now that by me going out and to constantly gamble and not win, that's insanity. Now, I'm not a bad person. It's sort of an illness, and it's hard to explain unless you either go through it or you're in that situation. People out there will know what I'm talking about.
When you got money in your hand or in your wallet, first place you think of is pub or club. Where's the machines? Where's the keno, I tried the horses but wasn't good at that. Thank God for that. Highest I ever won was $3.5 grand in one day. But I put all my pension in to win it. And I used to play $5 a bet. I could do $200 cold in 2 minutes. I used to get wild people come up talking while you're playing it. It's like they are a jinx. They jinxing you. I used to go up and ask strangers for money, tell them lies. I'd go without food. I went without paying my rent. I lost all respect for my kids because I used to lie to them about where the money was going, that I give it off them. And I sold my car to go and chase my losses in the pokies, and I lost all that money, and I had no car. With my 6 kids, I used to miss out on buying food for them. I knew I was doing wrong, but I used to push it down, deep down, brush it off. And then I had a nervous breakdown because of the guilt and shame I was carrying from gambling. When I was put in a hospital, it just all come undone. I said, I got nowhere else to go. I said, and I don't want to do myself in. I said, I got kids that need me.
When I won, it was like it was giving something back to me. The mystical gambling goddess or whatever it is loves you. The worst part about it was I stayed in love for so long. It was absolutely to my detriment. It can destroy your soul, it can destroy families, it can destroy everything. I gamble on poker machines, I gamble on horses, I bought lotto, I did keno, I did, you name it, every single thing that you can put money on, I did. And this day, I won 15 in a row on black. And I was singing that, call it black, it's black, it's black. And it turned up black. From Asian punters, Aboriginal punters, white people, they started putting on the black. And I won 15 in a row, and I said, it's going to change. So I got all my chips, cashed it in, and I caught a taxi home. I was so pleased with myself. I was lying in bed, I must be in bed, 11 o'clock or something. I got this urge to bet. So I said, I'll leave a couple of thousand home. I rang a taxi, went back, lost all that. Went back and caught a cab home, got the couple of thousand I hid under the mattress, took that back, I was broke. I think there was a woman there who was probably one of the lowest paid. She was an assistant or something. I was embarrassed to ask her for money because I earned about 10 times more than she did. But that I couldn't sleep, I couldn't watch a movie on TV, I couldn't entertain myself somehow until the morning. When you're a gambler, that urge is just so powerful. But the big story around was, did you see how much Steve Hagen won? Gee, it was good. But they didn't know that I lost all of it. I didn't tell them I lost it all.
Nobody ever wants to talk about the big losses you've had. I had massive big losses. We sold a block of land and she went through the tab. It was supposed to be to set us up. I was literally sick in the gut. I had anxiety. That's the effects that gambling really does here. I was selfish. The gambling just took over your life. I went through depression. I used to just lay in bed. I just couldn't get up. I didn't want to get up. I couldn't face people where what I've done. I couldn't look Jody and the kids, like I had nothing.
It's important to know that we can control or even decide to stop gambling. It can be done, and we know this because so many of our people have stopped. However, it is hard, and this is why you might need support. Gambling counsellors work with people from all communities and all cultural backgrounds. They work with our people, and they are trained to because gambling problems can happen to anyone. Counsellors are free and confidential. They don't even have to say hello to you if they see you in the street. There are also important steps that you or loved ones can make towards responsible gambling, such as set a time limit. I will only gamble for half an hour, for instance. Stick to a budget, and I mean stick to a budget. Don't chase your losses. It's impossible to win back what you've lost. The machines are designed to make you lose. Don't gamble alone. Don't mix alcohol when gambling. Pay your bills before you go to the clubs or the venue. Think of people who need your support, like Jardins, family members.
You know, is it powerful enough to take me out or to remove me from my kids and my family? So that's when I had to seriously do something about it. So I tried counselling. You know, I've been to professional counselling and it all helps. It makes it easier. There's a lot of help out there. The longer I stay away from that punt, the better the days are. We took the kids to Disneyland. It was amazing, the smile on their kids' face, you know, Disneyland. And all because I save my money now. It's not normal to be broke, you know. You can put your money towards something and go out and achieve it. It would be a role model for my kids.
I had two choices, was to give it up and walk away from it and tell everyone, the family, or I could keep playing and keep on. And I rang that number and I said, I need help with my gambling. I said, I've got no food or nothing. And she set up a time and appointment for me then. And they're there for you, you know, and they're not against you, and they get paid for it. It's telling people our stories. It doesn't matter what colour or race you are, you know, we're all the same mob. And I'd get my car in 3 weeks' time. I've saved up for a car. A second-hand car, but it's a car.
When I started lying and justifying to myself that the next gamble I'd win to pay back the money, and I realised I was a gambler. I was a fully fledged gambler, and I had a really bad addiction. I was a former diplomat. I worked with Mother Teresa in Calcutta. I spoke at conferences in most countries in the world, and I didn't have two bob to rub together. I was broke. I just went cold turkey. I don't bet on Keno. I don't get scratchies. I don't buy lotto. I don't even buy tickets at football games. I don't play pokies. I don't do nothing. The first thing that I had to break was the routine of going to the pub. A relative would come to town. Steve, I'm in town. Let's go out and have a bet. No, I've given it up. Oh, don't be silly. I said, yeah, I've given it up. They don't believe it. They just don't believe I've given up gambling.
And I chose Judd and the kids. And at that time, when I went cold turkey off the gambling, it was like, I've seen heroin addicts come off heroin, and I reckon I was just the same. It's an addiction. I regret it 100%. I still get frightened to this day because I'm not going back there. I don't want to go back there. The doctor put me on to seeing a counsellor. I felt comfortable with him. He made me really think what life's about. Is it about the grog or is it about gambling? You know, it's not. It's about your family. It's about having your family around you, and put me on the right path. But I did lapse. Only person knew I was gambling was me. And I actually put my hand up to Jodie and I said, Jodie, I'm back gambling, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to go back through it. And we sat down and we spoke about it. And it was it's pretty scary.
We say, oh, George, he has a problem with gambling. That's his business. But if families are affected, then it's our business. And we need to do something about it. We should be able to develop strategies so our people are not affected by problem gambling.
It's not going to bring me mum back. You know, gambling's not going to make me boss understand or make me wife understand what I'm feeling today. I don't care if they're black, white or purple or whatever the case may be, and they can help you, or they're going to listen to you, then by all means, you know, go out and take up that help, because you're not alone. And there's a fantastic life out there. You've got to have a hobby. If you take gambling out, you've got to replace it with something. I've taken the gamble out and I've replaced it with golf. You know, I pay $20, I get 5 hours of entertainment. I'm out on country, I'm out with nature, I'm spending time with my elders.
Thank you, that's sensational.
We talk about men's business, we talk about issues that are happening currently, we talk about Aboriginal affairs, we talk about politics, we talk about women's business. The answers are there. Don't count the days, make the days count. Get out and have fun.
Don't get like me and try to do yourself in or anything, because it's not going to work. It's the wrong way out. You got to face your fears, you know? You got to face your fears. And the first fear is admitting that you got a problem with money. Life is about coming through, standing up, be stronger, and keep marching forward. And if you can bring a few more with you, yeah, well, that's one big plus. Because we're all going to the same destination.
Come on, quick, 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 quick. Oh, that's a girl. Ready? Steady? Ready?
I've walked this far now, nothing can hold me back, you know? Keep going forward.
Go. Woo.
Deep down, everyone's got a hole inside of them, and you need to fill that gap with love and family. Oh, I still haven't got a lot of money, but I pay my bills, I get my food, I got more quality time with my grandkids and my other kids. It's about time I reclaim what's taken from me, my self-esteem and dignity and my respect.
I really worry about this high level of denial that's in our community, and it's really ruining our families, our people. Gambling addiction is a conversation we have to have. I made a conscious effort to change my lifestyle, to change the bad part of my life, which was the gambling. And I did that, and now life's good. I couldn't be happier. I mean, we're probably the happiest we've ever been. I've got a really good relationship with the kids. I think I'm a good role model, and of course, most importantly, is the quality time with my wife. I mean, we spend all our time together. Love affair I had with gambling is now a love affair I have with my wife. I don't need gambling anymore.
You don't want nobody hanging themselves or shooting themselves over gambling and money. It's not worth it. Life's worth living. If your friend's really bad gambler, talk to him. Talk to him. Don't leave it too long. Give yourself a budget. Have your beer, have a laugh, have a couple of little punts. Don't get too caught up in it. Once that $50 and $40 is gone, it's gone. Game over. If you're going back to the key card, hey, you know, then it's time to stop. Full stop. My counsellor, we drew up what to do, baby steps when I was going through counselling, and one of them was to do something for me. Replace gambling with something that I love. And I love gardening. I mean, the kids get out in the garden now. You sit back after it and you think, wow, did I do that? You know what I mean? Instead of sitting in a pub, wasting your day, coming out like a zombie. What do I want in life? Not what the next bloke next to me wants in life. That's what I want, and yeah, I've got it now.
The important thing to remember is that it is possible to give up gambling, and you can stop. It will be hard, but especially with help, you can get your life back and you can work it out. So what would you rather be doing with your time and your money instead of gambling? Well, go on, do it. Play it safe. If you are a family member of someone experiencing gambling problems, or you are experiencing gambling problems, remember that there is help available for you and for them. Call this free number, 1800 752 948. 1800 752 948.